What is going on, everybody? This your boy Sean, aka turn that music down, or aka Puff Comics 83. We are back with another episode of Talking Movies, and I'm joined by my compadre here, Varangian Vigilante. What is going on, brother?
Oh, I'm almost crispy here in this summer heat. Like, we have the most terrible heat wave in Europe at the moment, and I'm sweating. I'm barely surviving. I can't wait for fall, but you know what? It's really when it's terrible to work. It's terrible to have like any creative thought in this heat, but movies like this one really gonna get you through this fucking heat. Because today we're gonna talk. I'm gonna get you, Sucka. A first time watch. Like this movie is not so popular here. I mean, I've shown you like the German title.
I got to break that up. Man. Like, let me go. When you sent me that, I'm like, really? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like how to come up with a German title for a parody of blaxploitation movie, and you call it the Ghetto Bust, Bust. Which you can totally see.
Look at
It's like yeah.
Look at this.
It's like the 80s, and and basically it's like, oh, people like the Ghostbusters. Like, let's call this movie the Ghetto Busters.
I was like, really? Ghetto Busters?
What the fuck?
Unbelievable, man. This, first of all, I like I said there, I was like, they come up with some absurd titles when it comes to the foreign movie titles of American films. But Ghetto Busters? And then when you said we ain't afraid to go, and I said go, because
go.
Because they ain't afraid of OGing in this film.
Yeah. I think this is such a fantastic thing in this movie to like not have like the obvious like drug problem but to use like as a metaphor for it. So basically that people wearing too many gold chains, like this brings like the community down.
Like the whole overuse of gold chain, it started with Mr. T, and then the rappers got a hold of the gold, and all they had the big giant gold chains and stuff like that. So it's like pure comedy for them to add that aspect of like, yeah, now rappers all get all these gold, 2 months gold, and now they dying because they OG'd on it. So.
Yeah, they overdosed on gold.
I do agree, like, materialistic stuff can be very addictive, and when people fall into that trope, you're like, yeah, they're too addicted to materialistic wealth.
That's like exactly. That's why you have to really go to like a place that is not about gold or anything, but a place, when you don't wear gold chains, but iron chains around it and dealing power bombs like Rampage Jackson. So
but hey,
that's the humble.
But in our case, they OG, but we OC, which is over comics, because we piled up on all the comics that we can.
This is so funny, this movie. But it's not only funny, but like I was saying, what I really mostly laughed about is
there he is, Kung Fu Chase. Kung Fu Chase.
Good. It's good.
Made it, man. Made it.
Awesome. That it doesn't. I mean, there's a satire of blaxploitation, but it's also a homage. So you get like every joke comes from a place of love, and this is how you do like a successful parody, because usually you don't wanna shit on the topics that you parody. Hey, Shopbox better than. You really want to. You really want to make it a little bit, what's the word, to übertreiben, to overdo it, but yeah, it was hilarious, and I loved every second of it. Very, also like really like a well-paced movie, like 1.5 hours of pure comedy gold.
And a lot of cameos and guest appearances in there from famous actors that we knew, grew up watching.
Yeah.
Clarence Williams III as the revolutionary.
The revolution.
They walked in with guns and they walked out with
chops. And of course, a lot of Pepsi, regular.
Yes, gotta have some Pepsi. Man.
Pepsi, look. Gotta get a double Pepsi.
Double Pepsi. But yeah, this movie is like huge nostalgia for us, you know. Like I remember when we first watched this movie, you know, with the family, we was just busting out laughing at so many scenes. And as a kid, some of the stuff went over our head.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But then, you know, you get older, and you know what's funny? The scene where Anna Marie, you know, the girl that tried to get with Jack Spade, that she started literally breaking down and taking everything off.
Right,
that's like, that foreshadowed a lot of fakeness that we see on today.
Fake breasts, fake butt tops, everything.
Yeah.
Here,
What should I say? Well, yeah, she identified as a 10.
She dropped way down after that.
Yep. She sure did.
Bro, she took her leg off. I'm like, what the fuck? She handicapped.
That scene bugged me out as a kid, man. When I always see it, like, oh man.
But this movie is just pure gold. I was telling Jason, I was like, man, I kind of wish we made a double feature and talk Hollywood Shuffle first, because Keenan was a writer on that movie with Robert Townsend, and those movies kind of go back to back in terms of how they tell their stories of parodies and black culture and American cinema. But you know that we could discuss that movie another time, because that's another great movie.
I think Townsend also had like a guest role in it, but I didn't spot it. I only had time to watch it once, so I didn't spot that one.
Yeah, I think it was either cut from the movie or it was very quick and you miss it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film is iconic, and the whole premise, I love, like you said, with the whole gold premise. Like they took the drug premise and said, let's turn them into people, you know, being addicted to gold. Yeah. And it's being ran by the man.
The man.
And you know, played by John Vernon, who's legendary.
Not a B-list film necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, and I like the spoof he played at the end. You know, like didn't think I could be Mr. Big. You know, like what's his name was in Cleopatra Jones, and he started naming off the names of like actors in black exploitation films.
Yeah,
so,
that's just great parody right there.
Yeah.
So it just pays homage and love to those films at the same time as parodying them.
Oh, Donna Reese.
Oh man.
He's talking about mom. The moment they talk, what's his name? Damien Toster. Oh, he got up, whooped his ass.
Yeah, I also love the introduction of the running gag for the movies. Like, you know, there's only two ways out. Windows or the stairs.
Yeah, windows.
The stairs were so damaging that by the end it's like, man, it's the
like, it was good.
My man broke his neck on the stairs.
Yeah, haven't you heard about the elevator?
But yeah, this is like, the film does a great job of introducing their characters. And, you know, we get introduced to Jack Spade, you know, after the guys tried to rough up the mother, and the mother wasn't having that, played by the legendary Janet DuBois. It's so right there, like, hey, the mother, she was a part of those old black exploitation films. She kicked ass, especially when she got her own stunt person.
That whole scene there was
classic. You know, the girlfriend played by Dawn Lewis, who's still gorgeous to this day. And, you know, I love when Jack comes into play. You know, he's been 10 years in the military. He comes out. What up, Louis?
Hey, Freaky Louis.
You know,
not only a fat dad is a fake everything.
He comes home, and you know he's happy to see his mom and his girl. And I like when she said, "I left your room the same way it left it 10 years ago."
10 years ago.
Literally.
Didn't even change the room. It is filthy as hell. It's like those little details is hilarious when he walks in that room.
I really love this. You know, you get this, especially with a lot of movies nowadays, when they have like 3-2 gags in the movie and the rest, you know, they just fire stuff at you and hope that something sticks. Like here, every joke is really well thought through and they hit. Like there's not like one joke in there where there's like, hey, we just put that in and see if it sticks. No, like every joke is a big hitter.
And that's a testament to Keenan's writing ability. You know, to take his time with making the jokes feel more impactful as the movie go on. He really knows how to like connect the audience with these jokes. And like you said, like most of the time they try and just spam stuff at you to see what sticks. But here it just feels so authentic to the source material, which is, you know, a parody of blaxploitation and the whole theme of black heroes. You know, what's up, Kenneth? Thanks for stopping by.
Yo, Kenneth.
You would be a black hero? I'm ex-football player. Rather than Jim Brown froze.
I also love that, you know, even the fourth wall breaks, they were like, they didn't feel like lame. Like you know, with people playing prayer, and then you saw like Brown's face, like, yeah.
And you know what?
Like, who is
the fourth wall breaks doesn't feel overdone in this film. That's what I like about it. Like sometimes the fourth wall jokes, you kind of miss them because they're not really intentionally fourth wall breaking. You know, they're more subtle.
Yeah, and here they don't take you out of the movie. Like, that's where like I laughed over one at the bar, and then there's like they ask like who is this artist or who is this singer? It's like, oh, it's the director's sister. And I laughed, and then they like his look.
Yeah, Kim Wayne, like that's Keenan makes sure all his family is involved. Hey, Jace, what was that meme when you pull out game
is weak, but benefit in the long term.
When you got a whole family that is funny as hell and entertaining, hey, that's a huge benefit to the family.
They said they one of the greatest comedic families on Hollywood.
Absolutely.
And they stay true to themselves. They don't let Hollywood dictate them.
Yep.
That's what makes the Wayans family so great, is that they make their content, and it's up to you whether you like it or not. But they're gonna stay true to themselves. And that's why movies like I'm Gonna Get You Sucka, Shame, Don't Be a Menace, scary movies and stuff, like they all work because of the Wayans family comedy.
Yep.
And every time they put something out, you're guaranteed to bust out laughing.
Yeah. And there's also, you know, they also of course play a lot with race, but it never comes from a place that is awkward.
No, I mean,
it's all natural with them.
Look it's just what everybody can laugh about it. It's like this is really this is like humor. I think that just touches everybody. It's just funny.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Black Revolutionary scene. You know, he's talking to a Black Revolutionary in Clarence Williams III. And then next thing you know, his family comes out.
Yeah.
The white woman dressed up in African garb. You got the two white children come out talking about Abraham Lincoln, poor white trash.
Yeah, the kids are so blonde, they could be from a German propaganda poster.
and it's hilarious. You don't even think of the race. You just think of how stupid and funny it is to the point where it's like, yo, this is classic. You remember this.
Yeah.
And then we gotta touch on the blaxploitation actors that's in this film, and Bernie Casey, Jim Brown, Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
Like, tough guys. We've seen them in movies. We talked about these actors a couple weeks ago. Chuck Turner. Before that, Slaughter.
It's a thunderstorm here.
I was it.
Oh man, it's gonna start.
Hey,
Thunderstorm next week.
What's up? But yeah, the inclusion of them really like ties things together. Of the black hero, and I gotta say, like, I love all those actors, but I love their portrayals in this movie.
Yes,
because they still have a seriousness to it, but they add a little comedy to the three characters, and it elevates the movie having them.
But I really liked, and this is something very accurate. Like, and it's I mean, first of all, I love the portrayal of the Pink by Vargas. Like,
oh yes, Antonio
Fly
Vargas,
Fly
guy. Hey, that's my quote right there. My bitch, you gotta have my money.
That poem was fantastic, and of course, like, when he came out of prison, in his mind it was still new back then, so he dressed like a pimp, like back in the day, and everybody started laughing at him on the street.
And his theme music was laughing at him.
Yeah.
That scene right there, when Fly Guy getting out of prison, fish in the shoe, big hat, over the top 70s style dressing, like
just like Kramer.
It is classic. He comes out thinking he's still styling and profiling, but everybody laughing at him. Oh, look at him! He must be a rock star. He got fish in his shoes. What? That's an aquarium. You walking on the aquarium? You get a nosebleed up there. And then you see Sean and Mark playing in the background laughing at him.
That was their first appearance in the movie. Marlon and Sean Wayne.
I remember Eddie Murphy saying when he saw that scene, he was just dying. And he was like, yeah, Antonio Vargas is a legend.
Legend.
But yeah, like, just the introduction of those characters is
man. Here. We see retired Chuck Turner, man, running a rib shop.
Chris Rock.
Let me get one rig. One water rig. Come up. No, let me get one rig.
Right. I'm pretty sure Will Smith watched the movie before he slept in.
I so am hungry.
Let me get the 15s.
He said my cups cost $1 for a soda. And he like, let me just
sit for 15.
Just pour it in my hand for 50.
This man put out a whole roll of money and change. And
you know what? The people out there that are cheap like that, like they got money, but they don't want to overspend, so they go the cheap route.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just classic right there.
Just a moment, I have to close the windows. It's starting to hail here.
I get
just a moment.
But yeah, that like, we talk about these scenes so many times, and how impactful they were. Like, you remember them. They, like, you watch these movies, you watch those scenes over and over again, and it's like, man, this shit is hilarious as hell.
This movie is a true definition of timeless classic, man.
Yes.
Like, I think I forgot what year, because I remember it was a stretch when I didn't watch it. But after like the mid 2000s, like, yo, this movie, just like with Don't Be a Menace, hasn't aged at all. It's still a classic. Every scene will just have you bust out laughing like crazy,
and it still holds up. Like, and it's funny how even if the whole Steve James, who, rest in peace, we lost him way too early in life. You know, like, he was a great action star in many movies in the 80s. He passed away in 1993, and you know, he had the potential to be a bigger star than he was. And you know, unfortunately, like I said, we lost him way early in life before he really got the peak of his career. But
I mean, he was really cool in American Fighter 3.
Yes, I loved him in the American Fighter. But you know, that whole scene with him and the cops considering what we go through with the police, they're like, that's
right.
it's funny, but at the same time, it feels truthful about it because they will shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah, that was pretty much the alternate reality of what had happened if Black Belt Jones would kick the cops' ass and they sent a whole swarm of reinforcements.
Yeah, because they all came there to get their ass whooped.
Yeah. But they said, nah, we gonna shoot your ass down, but you ain't gonna have no chance.
and then he survives, get to the phone to say, I need to call. They're trying to set us up. It's an ambush. They're inside. You talk to a voiceover. Call me back later. They're like,
voicemail. The fact that it sounded like he picked up the phone. Like, hello? He just will all be a voicemail. Like, oh.
Man, so what else, BB, that you liked about the movie? Like certain scenes and stuff like that. I remember you brought up the youth gang competition.
Oh yeah, the annual gang competition. Really.
That race with those guys, brother, escaping with a tube TV, that's stuff that today's generation will have no business doing. They will not be able to run with two TVs on their shoulders.
Modern generations don't know the struggle.
They don't.
Some TVs were not like these TVs today.
I love the explanations like we're keeping these games as close to their strengths as possible.
Hey, when they tore down that car in record time, it's like oh man. But
the small comedy elements of this movie. That scene, I remember when I first saw that scene, I wasn't laughing at it that much when I saw it, but as I got older, that scene is crazy.
I also like, and I really loved the shootout with Hammer and Slammer, like in the parking lot with the two guys.
Oh.
Yeah, the two guys are suddenly with their guns, like looking at the big calibers of them, and like, why are their guns so much bigger than us? And then you already mentioned that when the one henchman is like trying to kung fu and also
you're like, hey, I don't know that kung fu stuff.
I don't know kung fu. Like, me neither. Let's fake it.
Let's fake it.
And then,
which is also because a lot of action exploitation stars like then also like the kung fu was.
Hey, Dolomite, number 1 with a bullet.
Yeah. Indeed.
Doing kung fu with that shit look hard.
That's the original Bushido.
Human tornado. But yeah, it's like the diner scene, when the mother come in and saved the son when he wanted to prove that he's his own man, but she's so overprotective. And then I like when they get back home and you're like, Mom, I can do this myself and stuff. Then she just runs him down saying, oh, back when you was in school, you was crying for me to save you. Mama, I had to go save you from the midgets beating your ass, which came back later.
So what's the midget?
I own you from the waist down.
Tony Cox. Yeah, it's like from the waist down, you're mine.
I agree.
Yeah, he's mine.
Yeah, it's like you got the overprotective mother, and you got a man trying to establish himself. And another scene, what's his name? When he you think he's military and he's got all these badges and he's top 10.
Yeah.
But he shit. He goes to see the other guy and they're like, oh, you military, right? And like, yeah, but he feels kind of like ashamed, like, I was a secretary. You're like, well, damn, man, I was secretary too. I'm like, and he starts showing up all the time. Like, wait a minute, I thought you lost your eye in the war. Like, that was just a paper airplane.
Paper clip. And what about all your medals? I got this typewriting.
That shit was hilarious, man. It's like he finally found somebody that was equal to him in terms of the military.
Yeah.
Well, man, this movie, like it said, because a lot of the blaxploitation films always had their heroes be like top tier elite, whether they were football players or military guys.
Yeah.
He's a military, but not the elite military you think he is. And when they got shot on the street, he crying, they shooting. He rolling around.
Yeah, which is actually so fun because that one hit actually very close because when I was in the military, like I was basically just a secretary.
So you have a relationship.
Yeah, because like basically my job was that I need to make the statistics like how much food is needed, like logistics, and like it's basically I think I had like 2 field days in the whole military.
Yeah, but I liked that aspect of the character of Jack Spade. You know, he's military, but he's not your elite military expert that he is. He was a
he had training with guns, but he actually was on the live field with them.
Yeah, he was never on the field.
Yeah, no.
And this was his chance to like really prove himself because he wanted to. He went to the military just to prove that he can learn something to be on the field and be strong at something. But you know, they like, nah, you're a secretary. That's what you're gonna be.
That's the thing, though, because I was also in Austria. We have like mandatory military service, so the only reason not to serve is when you say that you're basically a pacifist. So I actually volunteered for Panzergrenadiere, like the toughest thing. And since I did a business school, they put me in in the secretary. It's like, you know, you want to prove yourself, and basically you're doing the same thing that you did in school.
It's like, hey, they see what your strengths was at school, and they're like, yeah, let's put them in that corner of the military.
Yeah.
But hey, you're like, hey, I was in the military. Like, oh man, was you in combat? Like, no.
No combat.
But you know, that scene was hilarious for me when they hit it off. They're like, oh yeah, I was a secretary too, man. They shook hands.
Like, he was disappointed as well.
Like the bar scenes. Oh, you know, I love when Brown was telling me, you know, there's 2 types of women. They're like the ones you like, the ones you're gonna get laid with, and those you want to kiss, like.
Yeah, because he had his girl that, you know, that was his sweetheart, but you know, if this is a blaxploitation, you got to get the woman. Yeah,
you know, because you know, it's like, what do we say, like in German, that you basically learn to ride the bike on an old bike, like it's like like an experienced bike.
Gotta get that experience, man. You want to get laid multiple times, man.
Exactly.
And that's what all the blaxploitation heroes was doing.
You want to be here,
all the way. Unfortunately for him, though, he picked the worst one.
No.
Yeah. She was beauty on the outside, but on the inside, she was not what she expected.
I wouldn't even say outside. I would say just like in the how to say politically correct. She was trans beautiful.
What's it? It all started when he told her, like, oh, you know, I'm not about...
like 12 inches. He was
about those 12 inches, like...
and that's when he got her to open up.
And she's like, oh, yes, open. Like, I don't have green eyes.
And then she started just exposing herself, and I'm like, what the hell?
No. Like, those big boobs. See, they don't even match color.
Yeah.
That's voluptuous ass. Also fake.
Everything.
The chin really pulls up the leg.
Oh,
the leg was like the that was like, yeah, I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
She
Out of here.
ain't nothing. If all that shit fake, man, she might just start falling apart.
Yeah.
She said
Turn
she
it
would
to
pop
dust.
one leg and just go after him. Like, oh.
Another thing about that scene at the bar was that you got to see the late Robin Harrison there for a bit.
Yeah, Robin Harris. Yeah.
And another great comedian that unfortunately passed away way too soon. But he, I like how standoffish he was towards the guys, and then once he got word that they were good, like he had to apologize and stuff. But I was like, damn, imagine if he got more scenes in this film, because he was a great comedian.
Like in general, it's always sad how many actors, especially for exploitation movies, or like I see, even like with the Last Dragon, how many people passed away way too young.
Yeah. Especially when they were really like starting to get their feet wet. Like you mentioned, Stephen James, great action star. Unfortunately, he passed away too young before he even really hit his peak.
Yeah, and they really say like, I don't want to get political, but the American health system is horrible.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's super expensive, but yet you barely get great health on it. But another person that had a little cameo was David Allen Greer as a reporter. When we first get introduced to Bernie Casey's character, Slater, I like how he's that reporter that's black but not black.
Oh yes.
Like he grew up in the suburbs.
I like Bruce Springsteen.
and then you can definitely tell that they took a little jab at the Cosby Show, because he's my father's a doctor, my mother's a lawyer. That's exactly what the Cosby was about. Another great actor.
Smaller guy.
Also, what's interesting is that even though like that the will in the end, and there will be no sequel, they did like a spin-off TV pilot, which is actually directed by Schultz.
Yes.
From The Last Dragon.
They did the little spin-off Hammer, Slammer, and Slade.
Yeah.
And all three was going to be in it along with Janet DeBarge and stuff. I think Keenan Ivory wasn't going to be in it as the character. They had somebody else. But
Eric Lassalle, from Emergency Room.
I was going to say what's his name from Coming to America. With Jerry curls in full effect.
Oh man.
But they did a little TV pilot of it, and it didn't really get picked up. And this was right before Keenan launched In Living Color. Yeah. Like the success of this movie led to the launch of In Living Color.
Yeah, this is pretty much like a prelude to Living Color. All the actors coming from there.
Yeah, and of course, Living Color also blew Jim Carrey up. Which before he did The Mask and Ace Ventura, he was big on In Living Color. But this movie is like a prelude to In Living Color in terms of the comedy that the Wayans presented.
In general, this movie, I think it's really overlooked since everybody knows like the big comedies, Naked Gun, which of course are fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think this movie is like in a similar vein, and it has like the same kind of quality. So I think that also like I don't know how popular it is in the US. And like
it's pretty popular. Like it's not like super Hollywood popular, but it's popular in terms of fans who love the Wayans.
Because like the Naked Gun was like here on TV, it felt like all 3 weeks there was like a Naked Gun movie, or like Airplane 2. Like those were like record top secret. Like those were like, it really felt like all 2 weeks like here on TV, but this movie is a ghetto bust.
You cannot do
I know.
I'll say a top 10 comedy parody movies and not have I'm Gonna Get You Stuff On.
Hey, yeah, when VV brought up Ghetto Busters, that's the name of the movie in Germany, Jace.
That's what they call it?
Yeah, Ghetto Busters.
Ghetto Busters. Wow. You would think they come parody Ghostbusters, man. What the heck?
See, there's like, he's for Sean even better. He's a big Ghostbusters fan, so it's a
but hey, that the O at the end needs to be the no ghost logo, but no gang logo.
No gold chains.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I was like in the beginning, when they talked about how his brother, how it started. It's like it was just like wearing one gold chain, then another, and then every week more and more gold chains.
The more money he made, the more he spent on gold.
Yeah.
And the fact how
do you get that? Like, how do you go in the bathroom with these?
That's been question asked all the time. No cops have to take pictures. Like, yo, we'll take pictures of that man with this gold on. Yeah, both fellas.
Hey, I don't know. Like, the scene from Don't Be a Menace is worse. If you ever see Don't Be a Menace, like the whole Rodney King incident.
Man, the cops in that.
There was a part in
that's something that you got.
There was a part in Don't Be a Menace where they arrested Sean and Marlon, and when they go to the police station, they playing a video game called Rodney's Beatings, and they beating up Rodney.
Yeah, the cops around there was celebrating, man. Like,
it reminds me of the Dictator with Cohen when they played the Munich Olympics.
Like I said,
Don't Be a Menace at one point, man.
Oh man,
I'd like to know the German name of that.
Oh my. Hey, Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That's the name of the fucking movie right there.
Yeah, very long.
I'm gonna check.
The Wayans know how to do comedy, even if it's like low brass. It's still hilarious. Like I love when they go into action and raid all of Mr. Big's
The German title for Don't Be a Menace is Hip Hop Hood. Im Viertel ist die Hölle los. Like,
hey, they
like Hip Hop Hood, like in the quarter of the city, like hell breaks loose. Hip Hop Hood.
They like, yeah, we're gonna condense this down to 3 words.
Yeah, that's all the
But I like how they going in and raiding all of Mr. Big's big places, and the big hat place.
Yeah,
like, I mean, without big hats. Like,
I love the small guy head in the big.
Yeah, this guy coming and pointing out his gun.
Hey, like,
he's shot with a headshot.
All the little people get out the big hats, and then that's when you see one of the little people who abused Jack as a kid. He's like, I'm gonna get my revenge on you, and from the waist down, you mine.
Oh God. Was that his debut?
Yeah.
Oh, he was in plenty of movies before that. Wow.
They raiding all the places, and Mr. Big is like, he called the police agent, the police detective, because he's in cahoots with Mr. Big, and like, I need you to set them up, and that's when we get the whole Kung Fu Joe scene.
Yeah.
And Jace, you can talk about that since your name is Kung Fu Jace.
Kung Fu Joe. But yeah, Kung Fu Jace, man. He's just strolling around, chilling, driving his car. All of a sudden, 2 cops gonna come up here. Yo, my AI car will tell them, warn them, to hurry up and close the damn door. Yo, and they got a plant a drug in my car, trying to set me up. Yo, I have no choice. Just go in and whoop their ass, man.
The way he kicked that cop flew all the way to the hood of his own car.
Yo, that kick was it was not close to Black Belt Jones when he kicked the living hell out of that cop. So damn near close to it. Then they call for backup, man. All this reinforcements, still cops coming in everywhere.
And you know,
sitting there.
the funny thing about it is he giving his speech, and you see that black cop.
You see that one black cop back there.
He's standing there looking at him like, "Negro, please."
They shot at me. I mean, literally every variety of guns, shotguns, handguns, assault rifles, and I still gotta whoop their ass, man. All bloody up and all. I'm still whooping ass. I survived one of the worst police shootouts in history to a black man.
And you know, that's another thing I like. I like how all the guys didn't die. Like, they showed them, you know, still alive. Especially Hammer.
Oh.
That got to be the most funniest scene in the movie.
My man is packing so much heat from everywhere, from both sides. He packed the double on his ankle, on his back, 2 of each soda hoses, and just a two big ass shotguns. Hey, bro. He got a back up to back. So to me, he must be following the rules of his revolvers, because all his revolvers got 6 ammo. So there's no way he got no backup ammo for each gun. So that's why he probably assuming that I'm gonna pack up each one. Yeah.
And he didn't even get a chance to have any action because they conveniently placed bullets specifically him to slip on. And that shit goes
the worst thing he did was not put those guns on safety. He's put them all up in there. No safety.
That shit went off. And
but I was laugh how basically Slammer got like not in the fight when he went down the wall and
he blew up.
He blew up.
Yeah, Slade.
You thinking, oh, that's the end of Slade?
Yeah.
But no, there was also a really cool effect, you know, with his jacket where it looked exploded but still held together.
You look at all 3 of them got put down in the last way.
Yeah. I was saying, like, the Jim Brown bunion haunted me.
They all shooting at his fucking ankle.
They shooting at his feet. He goes down, and then
I was like, is this early CGI?
The first time I really paid attention to that. I never paid attention to that every time I watched before. And you look at it, they just literally shooting at his foot. It's almost like they know that that's the weakness of it. Like, oh, this man got.
But what's the CGI? It looked very CGI. Like,
that was like inflated prop. That's why that last part of it, you know, when it really swells up. That shit haunts me as a kid, man.
Hell yeah, it did.
Because when I watched it, like, this looks animated.
It sure was animated. But my God, they all went down. Like, yeah, they black heroes, but yeah, they weren't like super elite like they were in the Black Exploitation film. They kind of took them out.
Yeah.
This is probably the reason why Fred Williamson didn't want to be in.
Oh, yeah, Fred Williamson.
He got to be the hero.
Yeah.
He's not going down. Especially for some damn, like the way Hammer went down in this film.
Yeah. No. Like, he would be there and he would be the guy with the 12 inches.
Yep. He'd be laying that 12 inches. And then, you know, we didn't talk about the crabs.
The demonic possession.
that transformation is top tier. Yeah. Straight out of a horror movie. It's like that was from Exorcist / Abbey.
I couldn't get the name.
I think it reminded me from Demons, like they get like an Italian movie Demons, and the makeup reminded me totally from that one.
Yo, that scene was hilarious, and Damian Wayne screaming. And like, I heard you screaming from the car. Like, I wasn't screaming, I was whistling.
That's a signal for you to come attack.
But yeah, that scene was hilarious, man. And they had her hostage, so the heroes had to go in there and save her. And I like how
remind me totally from Demons.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely the effect that they were going for.
Yeah.
But they knocked her out and captured her and held her hostage. Cause the first thing I was like, they wanted to use her to make money. And I was like, damn, they're gonna put her out on Horse Road like we always playing that Comic Hall crew clip from Superfly.
Yeah.
Also, again, happy anniversary to the Comical Crew. 7 years last show on Sunday.
Oh, it was a great show. Great show
it
we
was.
had. Great to see. Hey, remember when I was saying on this show, like, how TC makes an appearance? He come back. And then blow up a whole TC comes on. I was like, oh my god, this is just epic right here. We made that shit.
You called it.
I called it. But yeah, like, great show. Make sure y'all check that out. And I'll just let you know, we was gonna do a show tomorrow, but Matt had a root canal done tomorrow, so we'll do it next weekend, next Saturday. I'll show. But yeah, the finale of this film, the whole thing with Mr. Big and Fly Guy gets involved, in some regular clothes and not so over the top 70s fashion.
Yeah.
And I like how, like I said, Mr. Big comes in and gives his little speech and say, there ain't gonna be no sequel to this movie.
Yeah.
Slade comes in and finishes him off and he delivers the line. I got you. Sucka.
Classic in the line.
And then they give Leonard the either the stairs or the window. And he's like, oh,
He's like, and he jumps out of the
podcast.
Like, and the thing Fly Guy said is like, didn't you know about the elevator?
Yeah, same elevator.
And even during that whole build up to it, the mother still comes in with her shotgun. I was like, yo, that's a badass mom. I love Jenny's voice. She really came in with the shotgun. I was like, yes, that's a great film. Classic.
Yes, it is.
And and she got locked in the closet area because what's the name? Jack Spade wants to do this on his own, and he gets the littlest injury, and he's got to do a Rambo type heel job on it with a bow tie and all. Yeah,
and he gets his own theme music.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's all about that, man. Like, every superhero gotta have a theme. Got his band right behind.
And also really like, that of course like Slammer got like the classic exploitation music, and then they updated it like in the end.
Yeah, they
like
got
the late 80s hip hop.
Gotta get KRS-One, man. BDP.
Yeah, that song is classic, Jack of Spades. I love that song. It closes out the movie nicely, and it is by far like a great homage to blaxploitation, black heroes, and a great use of comedy. And I felt like this movie is always in the discussion when it comes to blaxploitation film, because it's a parody of it, but it also pays homage.
There's a laugh letter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another film we gotta talk though. If we gonna talk like blaxploitation, we gotta talk Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
We gotta talk Black Dynamite. I'm looking forward to the new Outlaw.
Did they also give that one a German title?
Oh man, I need to hear this.
Oh no.
No, they just let it. Like basically, I think they stopped in the early 2000s with some titles. The weird thing is when they give movies like a different title but in English. This was like a trend in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's a film we definitely gotta talk. Maybe for Black History Month next year we'll talk Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
Maybe throw Willie Dynamite in there as a double feature. But yeah, I love this film. I always tend to go back, even if I don't watch it for a couple of years. I remember every scene of the movie.
Yeah,
every dialogue.
There's also a thing with this movie. There is not a stale or lame scene in it. It's like it hits, and then it's over, and you're like,
I need more.
Oh, I need more. Yeah,
it's a movie that has lasting power. It was made in the late 80s. It's a parody of the blaxploitation era, but yet it still holds up even to this day.
I would even say it would be still fun if you don't know blaxploitation movies, since the humor, there's so much humor in there that functions also on a cultural level. Of course, I think in order to really appreciate the movie, you have to know some American culture, since it plays a lot with that, or mostly with that. But when you know American culture, I think you can even enjoy without knowing blaxploitation. But when you know blaxploitation, then you get the extra spice with it.
Yeah, it adds to it,
Yeah.
Especially when you got actors like Jim Brown and Isaac Hayes and Bernie Casey, Antonio Fargas. Those are blaxploitation legends.
Mm-hmm.
So when you add that aspect to the film, it just elevates it even more.
Absolutely, and this makes this such a fantastic movie because it functions on so many levels, and it's definitely not the last time I was watching it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, when I first watched this, I have already watched Escape from New York. And it's just seeing Isaac Hayes in that as the Duke of New York.
Yeah.
Seeing him into this, I was like, whoa, what this is gonna be tough. I didn't know he was I didn't know he played Chuck Turner at that time when I was first watching in 94, 95.
Yeah, because when we watched this film growing up, we knew him from Escape from New York and this film.
Yeah.
But then when we found out later that he did Chuck Turner, it's like, oh, we didn't know about this because it barely got played on TV.
Right.
So, again, it's like a testament to Isaac Hayes' longevity that he can play a versatility of roles and not lose a step.
He played villainous, Duke New York, and he played.
But we even mentioned him on the show with Chuck Turner, he was in Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Achoo!
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 He even got to do some damage in Posse when we talked that movie. So, Isaac Hayes is definitely one of the most underrated actors that we agree should have had a bigger film career.
Yeah. Especially in the 80s and 90s. Like, you would have thought that because he wasn't doing that much music in the early 90s.
Nah, by that point, he kind of slowed down doing music.
So you would have think that he probably would have focused more on acting during those times in the early 90s.
But once he got the role of Chef at South Park, man, it was like a whole nother career for him.
That was the voice acting.
Yeah, but also with South Park, I think it's a lot of work, even with the voice acting. Especially a long ongoing.
Yeah, and I'm when it comes to Bernie Casey, I remember him from Cornbread Earl and Me, which is another film that if we get the chance to talk about, that movie really hits.
And when I found out he was a former football player,
yep. Like him, Fred Williamson, and Jim Brown, all former football players, become black action heroes in the 70s. So that was the theme. After your football career, it was either football or wrestling. Yeah. And a lot of them went into wrestling too. Big Cat, Ernie Ladd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you Sucka as a classic, and I'm glad we was able to discuss it. VV, your first time watching it, and soon as you hit me up in the morning with all the stuff, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a fun discussion.
VV loved the movie. That's all you know.
Yeah.
Because I had sent them that Fly Guy gift, and then the next thing you know, man, we was going back and forth this morning.
And then I discovered what the German title was.
Yeah.
Ghetto Busters.
So next week we made a change Jace, you wasn't here when we was talking about it backstage, but you know, the passing of Terry Funk, then the surprise passing of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Devastating for wrestling fans.
Back-to-back days.
But next week we're gonna talk Roadhouse because Terry Funk was in that film, and of course, you know, I love Roadhouse. Like it to me is like it's a fantastic movie, and you know, rest in peace to Patrick, another great actor that passed away. You know,
but this be y'all first movie y'all talking Patrick Swayze?
Actually, I think no. We talked Red Dawn.
Yeah, Red Dawn. We talked Red Dawn. Yeah, because I was about to say, I was like, didn't we talk Red Dawn?
Yeah, because Red Dawn is like one of my favorites.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze is enough. Like when we get into Patrick Swayze films, like the movie with Keanu Reeves, Point Break.
Y'all need to talk that. Anniversary, is the anniversary coming up on that?
I don't know, but you know, there's a lot of good Patrick Swayze movies out there. I even like the Black Dog, you know, the truck movie that he did. But yeah, I'm looking forward to talking Roadhouse and honoring Terry Funk.
Yeah, I mean, even like his later movies, like he was also really good, like in a short role in Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forget about that movie sometimes. But yeah, looking forward to talking Roadhouse. And then we're going to do Last Boy Scout after that because that's the start of football weekend here in America. So, and that has football theme in it. And then we'll do LA Confidential after that.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to let you choose a movie.
Because we're already going close to spooky season.
Yeah, and the 29th is my birthday. Oh. So I'll choose a movie for that week. You know, I got 2 movies in mind. But I'll wait till we get like in the month to talk about that.
Yeah, because I think what we should totally talk for Halloween season, Sugar Hill.
Yes, the original Sugar Hill. Yes, yeah. I'm looking forward to talking that film. But I know there's a week in between after we talk LA Confidential. Then there's that week before my birthday. Yeah. And
I promise it's not going to be a Mark Wahlberg movie.
I got to talk 3 Kings, man.
No, we got to wait a little bit.
Yeah, we don't Wahlberg out, man.
Yeah.
I still got to talk, like I said, 3 Kings, 4 Brothers. I can talk those next year.
Yeah, 4 Brothers, those be on the docket, you know.
Yeah, but I think maybe you're going to go for an either a Hong Kong movie or a Japanese movie.
Oh, fine. I was hoping,
right?
Huh?
Y'all talk Street Fighter. The Street Fighter movie?
The animated movie?
Well, y'all want to talk that, but I'm talking the Street Fighter, what's the name movie? Sonny Shiva movie.
We talked the first one.
We already talked the first one.
The second one?
Yeah, we ain't talked the second one or the sister Street Fighter movies.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'll be down for that. You know, whatever movie you come up with, man, I'm down. It's kung fu action. Sign me up.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Sign me up. Hey, we could do Wheels on Meals. Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan. I'm still gonna dive into those films.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick a good one.
You get that Jackie Chan collection.
Yeah. But yeah, great discussion, guys. Fantastic show. Definitely looking forward to next week, and I'll probably watch this on the reunion.
Yo, Big Remo.
What up, Remo?
Minnesota right now. Good Remo.
Hey, are you eating bean pies with that too? Oh man.
Hey,
what's up, werewolf? Yeah, the time zones be.
Time zones are crazy.
I remember, I think a couple weeks ago when Inja and Sheena went live, they the time that we come on, Inja now gets off work later, so she can't catch our show live. So it disrupts the rhythm when your work hours change, and of course, you know, we gotta start at 4, which is an odd time for Sheena because she's on the west side. of America, so it throws everything off. But
it is even crazier when you have like one country in different time zones.
Yeah.
These time zones, man.
But yeah, thanks everybody who joined us. You know, Short Box, you know, Freaky Louie, Kenneth, Schwab, Mastodon, and of course Remo and Werewolf came in late. But make sure y'all catch us on the rewind. Make sure y'all join us next week if you can, when we talk Roadhouse.
Yeah, and hopefully the weather's a little bit colder. Like
We don't need VV melting.
Yeah.
on live.
You know, it ain't hot, man.
Yeah, Germans are not built for that heat.
Man, we in hurricane season watch now, because they said next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, possible category 1 hurricane gonna hit us. Like that.
Yep.
So it's that time of the year, man.
Hurricanes and heat.
What Remo dealt with last week, it's nothing, man. It's not. We veterans that dealing with hurricanes, tropical storms. So, all right, yeah.
I just don't want to deal with them. Period. But yeah, other than that, thanks everybody for joining us. No Common Call crew this weekend. It'll be the following weekend. And yeah, that'll be all.
Yeah, and next week, to quote Peter Griffin, Roadhouse.
Later, y'all. Have a great weekend.